Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're going to be installing an amplifier and subwoofer in this 2008 Jeep Grand Cherokee. In this install we're going to show you how to run all the wiring for the amplifier, including power, ground, RCAs, remote turn-on wire, and getting it all installed to an existing aftermarket radio. Let's get started. Alright, so the parts that we're going to need for our amplifier, obviously the amplifier itself, the customer has brought us this older Pioneer 820 watts max amplifier, GM5500T. It's a 2-channel amp, and we're going to match the kind of matching generation subwoofers. They're 400 watts RMS a piece, and we'll show you what those look like. So the amp is a little bit underpowered for the subwoofers, but it's going to be okay. We're going to use 4-gauge and hook this up. Now with our amplifier you need a wiring kit. Now we'll post in the description our suggested wiring kit, but we're using a little bit of bulk wiring here. We'll need RCAs or remote turn-on wire, some speaker wire, and a fuse holder. So what we're going to do at this point is start our install by heading to the car, and we're going to get the hood open and start running our power wire to the trunk area. Alright, so we're here underneath the hood. Now, obviously the battery is going to be on the driver's side here in the front corner. We need to go to the positive post there. That's a nice little stud for us to run our power wire from that stud to our amplifier. And we're going to put our inline fuse somewhere in this area as well, as close to the battery as possible. Then we'll run our power wire, and we're going to find a grommet through the firewall back here in the back, so we can pass through that firewall and start making our way towards the trunk. Alright, so what we've done is we got our spool of wire. Based on the power that our amplifier requires, we're going to go with an 8-gauge. That's also what's recommended by the manufacturer of the amplifier. Get some light down in here. What we did is poked a little hole, got some soapy water, and just kind of loaded that up there. And that goes through the grommet. On the other side, we stayed away from the factory wiring. We do not want to damage any of the factory wiring. And that goes through on the other side. And what we're going to do is pull our wire through. We taped it to it. Again, we're going to lube it up with some soapy water and pull it through the firewall. Popped our panel down here, just 2 Phillips screws, so that comes down, and that's where our wire comes down, and we're gonna pull it on through. Okay, so we got that pulled on through here, as you can see. Pull that through the grommet. Again, soap and water, lots of soap and water. And we cut a little slit in that rubber boot so it would slip on through. And we use that hanger to pull our power wire through that grommet boot. And now we have plenty of length going through that. It seals up and around the wire, which is perfect. And at this point of time, we're gonna go ahead and start removing our panels. Working our way to the trunk. Customer wants the amp mounted on the back of the seat. So that's where we're gonna run all our cabling, is to that area. Alright, so we finished running our power wire. We also ran it there. It's tucked underneath this weather stripping there. But we went just tacking it under panels, and we worked our way out here. And the amplifier is going to go right here in between these 2 anchor points. So with that there, we kind of know our length. Now let's focus on how to do a ground. You can look for a seatbelt bolt or something like that. What we're going to do is actually going to self-tap and thread a screw right here, just actually more so a bolt, a 10mm bolt. This, as you can see, there's spot welds here, so we know that this is a sturdy place for a ground, and it's not going to get in the way of our package tray that we've removed. We're going to clean the paint really well, and then we will tap and put a bolt kind of right in this location. Alrighty, so we went and got our ground all in. Got a nice bolt in that location. Cleaned off the paint really, really well. And they started zip tying and cleaning up wiring. Got our power and ground all done to the amplifier. So at this point, we're really kind of done here. We can reassemble that. We're gonna give this a good vacuum though. We'll flush cut our zip ties once we just button up all the wiring. The power and ground is done. We're done running wire on the driver's side, so we can put our panels all back together here on this side. Next is we got to run our RCAs and remote turn on wire from this side of the amplifier, and our remote turn on. We're going to go down that side, across the front, work our way to the dash. Now here underneath the hood, we finished up our wiring, came out the grommet, we followed all this factory loom up and around, and we ended up installing our fuse holder right there. There's a nice plastic bracket that's flat enough that we could mount our fuse holder, and it goes right up to the battery. Since the power ground on the amplifier was already done, we went ahead and hooked up our power wire to the positive post, fed it through, which is perfect. It's all nice and hidden, and it locks away. So at this point, we are done underneath the hood. Everything is zip tied and nice and clean all the way along the factory loom. We can shut the hood and start running our RCA and remote turn on wire. Now at this point in time, we do need to get the radio removed. We're not going to walk you through step by step on how to do this necessarily in this video, because we already have a radio install video where we show you how we tear apart the dash, get the factory radio out in order to get an aftermarket one installed. So check that video on out. We'll have a link in the description as well as a card up above. We're going to jump ahead with the radio out so we can start running our RCAs and remote turn on wire up into the dash cavity. All right, so we fed our RCA and our remote turn on wire, and we're going to go down this way. And what we've done here is we've taped it every 6 inches or so, and just like the power wire, we've gone down here up underneath the panel, just worked it up underneath, going forward. Continued along, same thing, just like the power wire on the other side. Pop the panel off so we can just tuck our wire up underneath. And we pop this down, 2 screws holding this in, just temporarily so we can show you. Ran our RCA and remote turn on wire. And we just fished up into the dash. There we go. So at this point, we need to reassemble the hatch area, get the subs all hooked up, and radio back in the dash. So for the remote turn on wire, we actually left a little lead off here for the remote turn on wire off our radio harness. Remote turn on wire just needs to go to the remote output of your radio, the trigger output, and for the Pioneer, generally that is blue-white. So we've connected our remote wire into the blue-white, and then our RCAs will go to the sub output on the back of the radio. Now at this point, let's go ahead and get the radio reassembled. Okay, so we got the radio all reinstalled. Everything is done and reassembled. Got everything buttoned up here. Here's our 212s, 2 Pioneers. Everything's tuned. We tuned everything with our SMD DD1 distortion detector, so our gains are set perfectly to our aftermarket radio. Got our wiring all buttoned up here. Looks all nice and clean. And it folds up and out of the way, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. There's other places, depending on the size of the amplifier, there is a cubby up underneath the subwoofers, but there's not a lot of airflow and there is a risk of overheating in that cubby. You could also put it up underneath the seat, but again, this amplifier was way too big to fit up underneath there. You could mount it to the box, but it's really not a good idea to mount amplifiers to a box nowadays, just with vibration. So really it's up to you where to mount the amp. We decided to go here as it's easily accessible, and that was by request of the customer. So at this point of time, with everything installed and reassembled, let's do a final test. That's about it for this video. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see how we installed the radio and integrated the factory backup camera, go ahead and check that video on out. We'll have a link in the description as well as a card up above. And be sure to subscribe. We post great content on the channel all the time. Again, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.